Hello, buonasera a tutti, e benvenuto, benvenuti al el notebook del TED para el gara del the race for Bahrain, because Ferrari a tornata, Ferrari are back. And we are celebrating, they are celebrating indeed, a 1-2. So we're all here for the photo. Come on. And do you know what? You might just think, all right, it's the first race of the year. You know, they haven't won a championship or anything. Well, they haven't won a championship yet. But do you know what? I think we can forgive them all of the celebrations they're going to have, because it has been an awful long time since 2019. The man they call the Italian Jesus is here, Antonio Giovinazzi in the middle. And we're just waiting. The drivers, and then the house is well and truly going to be raised. I don't know if the drivers are just backstage and they're just waiting, doing this for dramatic effect. I think we are just waiting for them. On the right-hand side, of course, Mattia Benotto, waiting with the estimable head of communications, Sylvia Hoffer-Frangipani. And yeah, in the rest of it, the team that's waited for this for some time. And, you know, we had the thing with the engines, and then we had the fallow period. But they weren't potentially going to have a 1-2. And Federico is getting the call into the middle. We weren't going to have the 1-2 until what happened to Max Verstappen well and truly happened. But it did happen. And then, of course, they got the 1-2. And so first time that a Monegasque has led the World Championship in Charles Leclerc. And you would also say that for, there we go, Carlos Senior has joined the party on the right-hand side. You would also say that, you know, for Carlos Sainz, that is important points and a good recovery. I thought this was absolutely crucial. And it all came from practice, didn't it? There was something that happened in Friday practice where Carlos said, look, something is wrong. We've gone down the wrong path. And from then on, we got to the period, the position that we're in here, where Leclerc was just able to completely sail through qualifying, be on pole position, and qualify the car and convert the pole position into the win. So we'll go through their race in any case, tell you exactly what happened while we're seemingly waiting for the drivers. We have this dramatic tension, but it's all good fun, isn't it? Look, they're liking it on the back row, aren't they? Hey, they're liking it on the back row. This is all good fun. I must tell you that they're inspecting Carlos Sainz's car in the garage with the guys from the FIA. I've been to have a look. The screens are up, so I don't entirely know what that's about. But yeah, they are well and truly inspecting the car. But hopefully that's just that car number 55 has been selected for further inspections rather than as anything wrong with it. But we'll keep on top of that. I think we're about to have the entrance of the drivers, so I'll shut up for a second. Well, they say Ferrari is emotion, don't they? And you can see that for your own eyes. Grande, grande, as they say. Anyone going to break out any vino spumante or the real prosecco? No, they're just going to Federica and Davide Valsecchi are getting in on it here. Look, they're all. You're right, Lee. There you are. Hello, everybody. By the way, what a race that was. Good and fun. So Federica and my colleagues from Sky Italy are just hanging out here. So do you know what? I might sort of gate crash and see what happens after the photos. But yeah, let's go through their race, shall we? And you know, Sainz, he said, I didn't have the pace this weekend, but he still managed to get P2. But what a race from Charles Leclerc. Great start from Charles Leclerc. Managed to hold off Max Verstappen and anybody else. Actually, good start from Sainz as well. Tyres did start to go off on Sainz's car on about lap 13. He pitted with Max Verstappen, so Verstappen and Sainz pitted at the same time. Charles Leclerc, who got the setup, you know, completely perfectly, as I say, from having a Good Friday, just underlining the importance of Good Friday, was able to go longer. So Charles Leclerc pitted to cover Max Verstappen on the same soft tyre, and I thought that was important. He could see what Red Bull were doing. Maybe the medium tyre was better, but they didn't want to take the chance of going to the medium tyre in the second stint, so really had to take the soft tyre. Leclerc had to take the soft tyre to do exactly the same as Verstappen was doing, which was the right decision in the end, because Verstappen came at him very hard and very fast, and actually, you know, it was tense. They had a great battle after the pit stops, and yeah, so a battle with Verstappen and with Leclerc, which will probably go on for the rest of the year. Looked like he might be troubled by a Red Bull third stop, but then the safety car then went and saved Charles Leclerc. I thought that was an interesting little twist of fate that you maybe missed in the drama of the safety car, that by pulling the 3-stop, Ferrari did have a decision to make. They had a decision to make. Do we follow Max Verstappen in, if you're Charles Leclerc, for a third stop, or do we think that we're safe from them? At the time, it looked like they were safe from them, and they weren't actually going to need to shadow them in. But in the end, it was irrelevant, because the safety car saved Ferrari having to make that decision. But it might have been an entirely different race had Verstappen not made that third stop, had they not dropped the car or whatever they did with the defected Verstappen steering. And then in the end, of course, he had the fuel pump problem as well that it seems his teammate did. But yeah, all they needed to do was, with a good restart from the safety car. Oh, sorry, Lee, you were off somewhere. Oh, off you go. All they had to do was to have a good restart from the safety car. Carlos Sainz passed the ailing Max Verstappen, and then they finished 1-2, which is the first since Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel, I believe, in that Singapore Grand Prix of 2019, when the cars were rocket in a straight line. Even no, we don't have any else. Well, people coming in and congratulating them. Some stragglers being gently ejected from the Ferrari party, looking for a autograph or two. And now the disco starts up again. Whoever's got in charge of the iPad has got wow, a sort of disco version of Nick Kershaw's The Riddle. Interesting. Didn't know that was a big thing in Italy. Nick Kershaw popular in Italy? Cool. Hello again, Lee. Right, good. So do we think we're going to get a driver? Well, I might as well hang out here. Do you know what? You might as well hang out here, because there's an outside chance we might get a driver. I'm not quite sure. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll stay close to Federica and Davide Valsecchi and see if they get Leclerc, then we might get Leclerc. In any case, I'll tell you what happened to who should we do? Red Bull. Should we do Red Bull? Yeah, we've done Red Bull because we did the people who they were challenging for the win. And well, apparently, so my friends who stay across social media tell me, the words Horner and Karma are trending on Twitter in the UK. And though I don't spend too much time on Twitter, because it's not a particularly nice place to be, I think we can all appreciate what that is all about. Perhaps I'm only laughing because it's quite unkind, because Red Bull have been, the class of the field, haven't they? Going in from testing, it looked like they had the fastest car, but hey, they didn't. They weren't on pole position, they didn't win the race, and they had an unreliable car. So that's what happens in Formula One. But yeah, from the highs of the last race we had in Abu Dhabi, around this part of the world, to the lows of scoring absolutely no points. It shouldn't happen, said Max Verstappen, with the fuel pump that in the end was the cause of Perez and Verstappen's failure. Now I can tell you what this is. So this is a common fuel pump. There is now a fuel pump that's designed and supplied by Magneti Marelli, an Italian company, but don't read anything into that, you naughty people. And it's a common part. This fuel pump is a common part amongst all the teams. And they've had some problems with it. They could see the problems coming. And so they allowed all the teams to an extra bit, an opportunity in park. I don't know, but I don't think the Red Bulls had to or did replace their fuel pumps. But it looks like it's a problem with the fuel pump, which is a common supplied part. It's common from the FIA under these new rules. It's the same fuel pump that's supplied to all the teams. And it looks like, so perhaps through no fault of Red Bull's own, that they have fallen foul in the end to that. But we don't also know exactly what caused the power steering problem in Max Verstappen's car. Helmut Marko said it was when they dropped the car after that final pit stop to pull the 3-stopper. that affected the car. Well, certainly something happened under the pit stop. So that was what happened. Should we see it, gauge the mood? Looks like we're not going to get any more from anybody down here, are we? So let's gauge the mood at Red Bull Racing and then do Mercedes, and then perhaps we'll take a break. Oh, caught in a little funnel here. Right, there we go. So yeah, but Helmut Marko said that he thought it was when they dropped the car that caused Max Verstappen's power steering problem. Max Verstappen wasn't very happy early on. He pitted on lap 15. As I said, it was a great fight with Charles Leclerc. Pitted and was told to take it easy on the outlap, and then felt that by his engineer GP telling him to take it easy on the outlap, he didn't do a monster outlap, and that meant had he done that, and it would have had to be a pretty monster outlap, it would have had to be 2 seconds quicker than the one that it was. He would have been able to overtake Charles Leclerc using the undercut, but in any case it wasn't. But he did slightly amusingly petulantly on the radio said, "That's twice you told me to do that, and I'm never ever doing that again." So all right, Max, fair enough, but don't blame me. And his engineer might think, when your tyres are knackered at the end of the stint because you didn't take care of them early on. So it's the same old thing with the tyres. Sorry to find it amusing, but it was quite a funny radio message. As for Sergio Perez, poor first few corners, got into a battle with Kevin Magnussen, which he won, and then retired with the fuel pump. And we have Mercedes, who have gotten out of jail with a very, very good race because they've got a handful of points. Lewis Hamilton's got more points than Max Verstappen than he ever had last year, which I thought was an interesting stat. And he's got Lewis's third and George Russell fourth. The Lewis Hamilton, the hunter, really, now he has to be, up to P4 at the start, stayed there, pitted early onto the hard on lap 12. They tried it. It wasn't the right decision, as Toto Wolff so elegantly put it. It was like putting your hand in the toilet. I don't quite understand the reference there, but I'd rather not think about it. And it wasn't the right decision. They were trying it. Listen, they didn't. I'd like to say they didn't have much to lose, but they did. They lost a load of race time that they couldn't really get back. But after that, it was sort of vintage Hamilton who managed to go, once he was onto the medium tyres, actually get the car flying. Well done, kids. You got your autograph? Yeah, got George's autograph? Lovely. Good work. Good work. He's so cool. He is so cool, isn't he? Is he so cool? It's just sort of, yeah, I suppose he is. Coolest man from King's Lynn, apart from Martin Brundle. So yeah, after that, George had a bit of a slow stop. I was watching his stops. He was a bit gingerly into the pit stop box. He didn't really attack it, so maybe that's something he might want to improve for later on at Mercedes. And then they were better on the medium tyre, as I said. Lewis Hamilton inherited P3 after a great restart. George Russell just followed him home. Yeah, it was a mistake to do that tyre, that hard tyre in the middle, but they just gave it a go. And it was the result. The podium was a result. But a thought on how long it's going to take them to sort out their porpoising. So first question, not that question. First question, is it circuit dependent? Answer, no. So they had it in Barcelona, they've got it here. So it's not something that's circuit dependent. When they go to Jeddah, it's just going to be the same or worse. Question two, do they understand it fully yet? No, they don't. Which leads on to question three. If they knew right now, if they understood it right now and how to fix it, how long would it take them to get the new parts to the track? And hypothetically, say they did, then the answer to that seems to be a couple of races. Whether it's a new floor or something more than that, we don't know. So I think we're looking at the European season, which is after Australia, for them to get their act together at the earliest. I think they've got to live with it here next week in Saudi Arabia, definitely, and they've probably got to live with it in Albert Park. Yeah, apart from that, it's going to take at least Imola. Here we go. Let's just have a look at the trophies going in their cases to Maranello. It's going to take at least until the European season for Mercedes to sort themselves out. But all they can do, and all Lewis Hamilton can do, is keep banging in the points as he did, get the podium, picking up the pieces when others make mistakes, as they did today. Here we go, just back Lee. Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's an empty box. There we go. There's the. There is Federica, who was screaming with the trophy. And isn't it beautiful? Isn't it absolutely? Isn't it lovely? Yeah, all they can do is just keep getting in the points and hope that it gets better. Right, we'll take a break as we follow the trophy into the victorious garage. More Notebook in a bit when I'll tell you exactly what was going on with McLaren this weekend. Hiya, welcome back to the Notebook for the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix. Shawarma, anybody? Anyone for shawarma? We're here at the shawarma counter. I tell you, this has been the hub of the paddock all weekend. I can recommend the chicken shawarma. It's particularly good with garlic mayo, mint, fries and pickles, although I didn't think there were fries were in it, but there was a fries around. The beef shawarma I didn't have. The kash kaval cheese sudge. And the za'atar sudge, that's Arabic bread, and the Nutella chocolate sudge, which I think, well, Nicholas Latifi must have had, because he's a huge Nutella fan, is he not? But yeah, anyway, this was doing the good business, and chili sauce, anybody? Chili sauce. Simon Lazenby was all over the chili sauce. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Because we've got many teams to do. There is Zach Brown, just over there from McLaren, reflecting on a difficult day for the team. But they will get better from here. Ricciardo was 14th, Lando Norris 15th. Both medium starters. Lando Norris had a poor start down to P16 and then got nerfed by Lance Stroll, but no penalty for Stroll. Yeah, Ricciardo was last, actually, so both had terrible starts. Ricciardo pitted early. Lando pitted the last of anybody on lap 26 onto the hard tyres, and then found that the tyres were indeed as hard as the hard, nutty remnants of a particularly overburnt bit of beef shawarma from one of these burners here at the shawarma stand. Sorry, I'm obsessed with the shawarma. It was good. The tyres were too hard. Just like they didn't really work on the McLaren. They didn't really, on the Mercedes, they didn't work on the McLaren. Oh, aspect ratio infringement. Oh, aspect ratio. Oh, aspect ratio. You see, Lee, does it bother you, Lee, as much as it bothers me, trying to squeeze a 16:9 into a 4:3 big screen? Oh, sorry, I can't pass that without going crazy on the aspect ratio. But yeah, otherwise, hey, listen, you know, they did as much as they could. Both pitted again on the safety car. They were managing their tyres. They were managing their temperatures. In fact, they weren't the only Mercedes runners who were managing their engine temperatures, the power unit temperatures today. Aston Martin were as well as Mercedes factory team, so they've got to sort that out. But a lot of work to do, clearly, at McLaren. But it was just for missing the test with the brake duct issues, and they've had to have bigger brake ducts, which of course has meant less efficient aerodynamics because the bigger brake ducts are in the airflow. It's all really just developing from there. But they did have some good pit stops at McLaren today, so well done, the pit guys and girls, as did Alpine, actually, who didn't practice any pit stops. Alpine, where are they? Oh, they're over there. Oh, good luck, Lee. They're back the other way. So yeah, Alpine didn't practice any pit stops in testing, which means that there was a bit of a journey into the unknown. The guys had to rely on muscle memory, but they did it very well today at Alpine. And Alpine scored points with both cars, so it's a good day for the team. Fernando Alonso 9th, Esteban Ocon 7th, and Ocon with the old side pods, Alonso with the new, supposedly improved side pods, but Alonso was slower, lost a place to Gasly early on. Ocon got a 5-second penalty for the tap with Mick Schumacher, and then Alonso's tyres just kept going away and away and away. He pitted on lap 12, again then for the hard tyre, and then again under the safety car. A tough day with tyre degradation, and not happy is Fernando Alonso, but very happy is Esteban Ocon, and Esteban's done a great job. He said sorry to the team for the penalty. Who have you spied? Yes, Esteban, love it. Did a great job today. Good, big thumbs up from me to you, because P7 with the old side pods, don't mention the old side pods. You didn't mention the old side pods, I mentioned the old side pods. Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, play the innocent, son. With the old side pods, P7, and a great race. The car was very quick, very good drive, and they did great pit stops as well. See, I mentioned the pit stops.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
you've mentioned it. See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
No, thank you.
Well done.
No, thank you.
From what was a bit of a difficult test, you know, we didn't know where you are, you didn't know where you are, and you scored points with both cars, so not bad.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, we are walking. I think the only thing I have to say is, yeah, it's a shame about the first lap, and I have to apologize to Mick because that was my fault. But I served the penalty. I took it, but yeah, from there on, it was a good effort from everyone to get 2 cars in the points.
Brilliant. Well done. Where are you going now?
See you later.
What's going on? Oh, look. C'est un interview. Avec qui? Qui est là? Alpine. Ah, c'est l'interview du maison. De la maison. Façon.
English word for you know, French interview.
An interview of façon du chef, I like to call it.
Exactly.
Right, good. Okay, merci. Désolé pour le délai de Esteban. Plusieurs désolé. Bye. Right, Alpine, yeah, where we were. AlphaTauri, Gasly DNF, and Yuki Tsunoda 8th. Okay start for Gasly, run comfortably in P8, but stopped with suspected MG UK failure and caused the safety car. Aspect ratio. Yuki, great start. Up to P11 after starting behind Ocon, held on, raced well, stopped under the safety car and finished P8. I tried as hard as I could, said Yuki, but we had no high-speed grip in the car. And that's an interesting one for AlphaTauri to try and figure out. Why does the car not have any high-speed grip when they've been pretty good here in testing and pretty good in Barcelona as well? But Yuki Tsunoda scoring points for AlphaTauri. Well done to them. Difficult day for Aston Martin. Lance Stroll, bit of a touch with Lando Norris early on, but didn't get a penalty for it. Made his way up. Good overtakes on Lando Norris, eventually Mick Schumacher. And a good drive for Lance Stroll. You know, when he started P19 and finished P12, that is a good day's work. So a good recovery from Lance Stroll. And Nico Hülkenberg, the car was running hot, had to cool it and lost places because of it. They said, look, it doesn't matter if you lose places, you just need to cool down the car because we're running hot with the Mercedes engine. Managed the temperatures, pitted, a bit of a slow stop and rejoined last. Had to manage the temperatures and lift and coast. Hulk had to lift and coast. Maybe Aston Martin were expecting a safety car. That never happened. But in any case, 17th, and who knows whether he might still be in the car. I've got a feeling he might. I mean, I'm expecting Vettel to be back for Saudi Arabia, but I've got a feeling we might not have seen the last of Nico Hülkenberg this year. I think Vettel might think that maybe he needs to take another race off, given that it's just the next weekend. Alfa Romeo Sauber, great day for them. Stars of the notebook for me. Alfa Romeo Sauber, Valtteri Bottas P6 and Zhou Guanyu P10. Terrible start for Valtteri Bottas. How many times have we said that in his career? Again, worked his way back from P12 after the stops. Well, he was further down from that, actually. Worked his way back up to P12 after the stops, and Zhou Guanyu was behind him in P13. Both went soft and then medium and then medium. Both pitted 3 times for the final time under the safety car. The car absolutely flew. Valtteri Bottas recovered to finish 1 second behind Kevin Magnussen, and Zhou Guanyu scored points on his debut, well, 1 point on his debut. So all credit to Fred Vasseur, who is doing his own interview du maison pour l'internal, les affaires internales. And brilliant. I mean, when was the last time Alfa Romeo Sauber had 2 cars in the points was some time ago. So a very good effort from them. Good work, excellent. And Zhou Guanyu, wasn't he fantastic today? Great prospect in store for Zhou Guanyu. Right, let's do Williams. Alex Albon 13th, Nicholas Latifi 16th, and great start from Alex Albon, up 3 places to P11. Held on from them, struggled for pace with the tyres, lost out under the safety car. He felt and finished 8 seconds behind Lance Stroll. Nicholas Latifi, good start. Struggled with the car and the tyres, but finished ahead, but a bit frustrated. Finished ahead of Hülkenberg, and that was all really he could do from there. Was Nicholas Latifi. And we will finish with the good news, the feel-good story of the day, and that is the return of Haas F1. They wrote off the last year and a half, wanting to get a car that was back in the midfield, and by golly, they've got that. And all the unsure, all the uncertainty about whether they'd still have a team after the whole Mazepin, Michigas, and they do. They have the money, and it's all looking rosy again. It's so nice to see a smile on Gunther's face again. Kevin Magnussen P5, that's 5th, and Mick Schumacher 11th. Great start from Magnussen. Up to 5th. He locked up, lost the place behind Sergio Perez, but after a very good fight, which the mechanics loved. Mick was spun round by Ocon, as we've already said, but continued very well. Mick stayed out under the safety car because he had nothing to lose. It was worth it. In the end, he was easy pickings, really, from Alfa Romeo Sauber and Zhou Guanyu. And Mick lost that, but he managed to finish 11th. And they said on the radio afterwards, we'll get there, Mick. After he got passed by Zhou and finished 9 seconds, finished 11th, 9 seconds behind the Alfa Romeo Sauber did Mick. But that is it. So we'll leave you with a shot of the Royal Tower where we say thank you very much, Bahrain. Thanks for the shawarma. Thanks for the great race. Well done to Ferrari. Ferrari are back, and we will see you for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from the Jeddah Corniche circuit in just a few days' time. Well, I won't be, but everybody else will be. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye.